Today's show is brought to you by VisitLauderdale.com.
Hold the Mayo. It's time for Mike Mayo's Lunchbox. Find out what's being served with Mike, Defo and Lubie, the only show that covers food, sports, and the proper maintenance of your car. And now, a man who had the distinction of having an entire health clinic named in his honor, Mike Mayo.
I want the flim sauce with the awesome bay, with shafafa on the side.
Happy Wednesday, and hope everybody is staying dry and safe. Welcome to another edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox, Storm Edition. Again, we're all hunkered down in our man caves and bunkers, but all of our thoughts and collective prayers, not that I'm usually a thoughts and prayers guy, but today I am for the people on the Gulf Coast. I have friends and some other acquaintances out there in the Naples, Bonita area. It looks like Hurricane Ian is coming ashore any minute now in the Fort Myers area. And again, all you can do in this case is just fingers crossed and hope everybody's made their storm preparations and that everybody is spared the worst. Although when we see something like this, we know that's not humanly possible. How are you today, gents?
I can't believe you were never dispatched by the Sun Sentinel to do hurricane coverage, because Lubie was sent out on various hurricane assignments, and so was I, because they always sent the sports guy to the worst possible burn in hell type of situation. And I get a kick, the local media, pretty good about this stuff, but not once it's known that the area is somewhat safe and out of the danger zone, so to speak, the cone of influence, the sphere of influence, the sphere of death. They won't let it go. So, they'll send a reporter, and I believe they do this. I believe they throw a palm frond out on the street, set the camera up, and then have the guy do his stand-up as it's calling the business and make it look like they're under treacherous circumstances. But seems okay on here right now. So we did have a couple of tornadoes touch down, which is dangerous, but we're doing okay, is the bottom line.
Yeah, and I don't know what it is about you, Defo, if you were just kind of tuned out yesterday, because a couple of things. I did mention yesterday that I did do storm coverage.
Okay.
So I did not skate from storm coverage.
Oh, you were in a city desk for a while. You had to talk about
when
how
I
the
was
city
on the
bungled
city desk.
emergency
And
services.
so I recounted the tale about how I was Hurricane Charlie 2004, that this storm is taking a very eerily similar track. That one I was stationed up in Tampa because originally it was projected to go right into the heart of Tampa Bay.
Oh, okay. So you were sent to the most dangerous outpost.
I don't know where you were. You were tuned out.
I got caught up in that dumpling story. I got so lost in that dumpling you were talking about. This one dumpling.
Well, and then part two of you not listening, I mentioned Yodels specifically yesterday as one of my favorite snacks and
Swiss logs, I think was the name of the.
Oh, okay. Because I heard you discussing this morning, and yes, the Swiss rolls were basically a rolled up devil dog. It wasn't, I don't think, coated in a chocolate coating.
No, these were coated with chocolate.
Yodels were the straight up. Basically, Yodels was a round cylindrical edition of a ring ding. A ring ding was a flat kind of hockey puck.
These were rolled up though, coated in chocolate, and I believe they had Swiss in the title. That's what I was.
All right, so then I'm gonna have to do during the first break a Google search.
It has chocolate because when you would peel it from the paper underneath, it would always leave chocolate.
They were great.
I would grab that and lick that. So it had chocolate, the Swiss cake.
So it did have a chocolate shell similar to a Yodel. So what was the difference between a Yodel and a Swiss roll? Basically the manufacturer.
Not much.
Andy said they're the same thing, just different companies made them.
Different manufacturers. One is a Drake's Cake. Yodels was part of the Drake's Cake contingent of junk food and snacks. And, now that we're in the hurricane or, tropical storm warning here and stuff, everybody's thoughts turns to junk food and comfort food. And I know last night, I don't know what you guys did, but
I went out.
I went.
Of course you did.
It's easy to find gas too if the gas station still had any gas left, because there was nobody at any of the pumps. Nobody was on the road. It was fantastic.
Did you do your typical
Tuesday at the tip. Yeah.
Tipperary
Very nice.
Tuesday.
You're dead wrong about the tacos at this place. They were
I
sensational.
didn't say anything about the tacos.
Well,
I
you
just
didn't
said
try them, and you condemned them as a place you would never order a taco.
it's
They do
just
a
the
great job there.
place. It's a little sketchy, I gotta say. When I
It
walk
wasn't
in,
sketchy. They were fine. I ordered a couple again, and we had a person that hadn't been there, and it was actually Mustang met a young lady at the fair there for Dickstein, Delray Best of Delray party that you had the other day at that Bar 25, which was a spectacular place. We can assure Dickstein we loved it there, and she met somebody there and invited her to come to the tip, and she had never been there, and she thought the tacos were sensational.
nice.
She said, "Don't believe Mayo. The tacos are sensational here." So, no, they were good. I mean, I don't know that they were the best I ever had, but they were good.
Next time I go, I will try the tacos.
I'll have that
okay?
dumpling at that
I
Chinese
won't make a
restaurant you were talking
face.
about. That you
And I'm
wanted
sorry
to-
I went on and on. I was stretching yesterday because I didn't have much of a topic list. I was kind
It
of
doesn't
all-
matter. We
You
can
don't have
help
to
you,
stretch
Michael.
with us,
Let us
believe me.
help
We
you.
can always
Let
find
us help
something.
you. Yeah.
On the
People don't want to tune in and see you struggle over a dumpling.
All right.
They-
You want the
they-
5-second review of Dumpling King in Pembroke Pines?
No, it was good. 2.5 stars.
Inconsistent,
Yeah.
but some good stuff. The scallion pancakes, tasty but greasy. That's it. There's your
And
review.
you wouldn't go out of your way to go there again. That's the ultimate.
I would give
I
it a
guess
second shot.
distinction.
I want
you
to
would?
go back and try more. My daughter's review was not hurrying back anytime soon.
In other words, lose my number, she told
Well,
me.
your daughter would have read you.
Now my daughter and I, today was schools were out and she got to sleep
Okay.
in, and we had a father-daughter breakfast at what's my favorite place. It's like the only place I'm going to and
Grandpa's
eating from
is the
this week.
only place you
Obviously,
frequent now.
And,
There are no
you know,
other restaurants
And
in
I'm
town.
not doing that only because they're coming back aboard as sponsors on the
But it
Lunchbox,
helped.
But it helped. But no, Grandpa's, it's around the corner and their food is really good. And went in there, had a breakfast they have corned beef hash, and I haven't had a good corned beef hash.
Oh
in a
yeah,
while.
no, and sometimes that's very suspect. They'll say it's the best in the city, and then it comes and it looks like, the Waffle House could put out
So
something
let
that
me
was more
ask you.
appealing.
Yes,
And
go
I'm
ahead.
not trying to degrade theirs. I
Yeah.
haven't had it. There's two schools of corned beef hash. So the one where you get it in the can, then the one where they actually take corned beef, make corned beef hash. I'm not gonna lie, I actually like both, and both serve their purpose. How do they do theirs? Their corned beef hash. I
Well,
think both are good.
Let me leave this to you because I know that you've got a Kepala on your shoulders, as my grandma would say. This is a Jewish deli that features Carnegie brands, pastrami, and corned beef. What do you think they do there? How do you
Ooh,
think
they
they
do
make
fresh
it?
corned beef hash? They do fresh
They
corned beef.
slice up their
What?
their
That's
Carnegie brand corned beef
Oh shoot.
after they steam it off, and then they chop it up and they make a fresh batch for
That's
breakfast every morning. It was outstanding. I had it with 2 eggs over easy and some sliced tomatoes. My daughter
No
had that.
potatoes? Don't you go for both the
Well,
potatoes
first of
and the
all,
hash?
Don't double
No,
potato.
because
Double
I
up on
think
that.
I think the
No?
hash has a little bit of like some sort
They
of
have some potatoes in it. Yeah.
potatoes in it, so that would seem to me a little bit repetitive.
You
Plus,
took tomato slices over home fries, though. There's
Oh, no, that's
something
over a
happening
bagel.
here.
Oh,
Yeah.
he's missing the bagel. That's
first of
over-
all, the tomatoes that they served there that I had
Those
the
were
other day
great,
on that
yes.
lox plot, it was so
Great.
great that I was like, I want that with, and again, it comes with a full bagel. So I got like an everything bagel that I put a little smear of cream cheese. I put a little bit of the egg. I put a little bit of the corned beef hash, and then I put a little tomato on it. And I did an
Oh, my
open
God.
face sandwich.
You're a little dipstick.
I unhinged that mayo jaw and put it down. Now my daughter, God bless her,
You didn't
she's-
go for a little bit of lox, though? I mean, because you
No
were
lox today.
infatuated with the lox there.
No, today was
Oh, that's
going to
breakfast.
corned beef day.
All right.
I had my
Okay.
lox, but my daughter, God bless her. You know how that guy at the table next to us last week
Oh,
had
that was great. The omelet.
what did he call that? It was the omelet on the
Yeah,
bagel,
like a
with the
country
home
omelet
fries
on the
it.
bagel. Yeah, or something like that. Yeah.
Instead of a Beck, it's called something else, and it escapes me now. But my daughter got that, but she got her hash browns on the side. So she had, it was basically a bagel cheese. It was an egg, cheese, and bacon sandwich on a bagel, toasted,
All right.
that she squished down and ate. And then she had these home fries that I love, not home fries, the hash browns, the ones that are all chopped up.
Okay.
Their hash browns come out so like they have that crisp,
Crisp.
the browned on top. Now let me ask you this, because I'm going to go back into the condiment question. She puts some ketchup on the side and dunks her hash browns into the ketchup. Is that acceptable? Do you like hash browns?
Negative for me. I mean, I'm into the taste of the hash browns. I will say this, and it's interesting because I like corned beef hash when it's crisp on top.
Yes, sir.
And then, as you said, I mean, I'm not a fan of the canned stuff. I like it to be freshly made.
This was crisp and crunchy. Had
Yeah,
that,
yeah.
kind of the coating, the caramelized.
Kind of like
crust.
that. Yeah. The
Yeah.
best I ever had, honestly, was at the Cypress Nook, the old Cypress Nook. And even though it seemed like it would be overwhelming to get like home fries, which I always have to have, and the corned beef hash, it's not necessarily a favorable combination from the caloric intake category, but I thought they had the best. And a lot of times it's very disappointing, the corned beef hash, when it comes as a side with breakfast, even in
Right.
places where you're expecting it to be good. So this is very favorable. This position
No,
that you're taking on
I
Grandpa's.
enjoyed it. It had good flavor. It was sometimes you get the bigger chunks. This was more of a kind of, I'm not going to say puree, but it was definitely a more refined kind of spreadable kind of thing that you could spread it on a bagel if you're inclined to do
Spreadable
anything
and
like
incredible.
that.
Yeah.
Now, my daughter ketchup with the hash browns.
Eh,
At the end of my corn, I did a little experimentation.
no.
I squeezed out some deli mustard on the side and swiped my corned beef hash through the deli mustard. And you know what? Thumbs up. I gave that a big thumbs
Oh,
up.
yeah. Usually you
you
just pour the mustard into your mouth as you're eating.
Or on my finger, like toothpaste.
I don't know about ketchup on the hash browns. I mean, doesn't that
You know what?
take
I
a little
had
bit
some.
away from it?
I had
whole
some. I
concept?
tried it. I tried
Yeah.
hers. I took a bite because sometimes I've been known to do that. It's not bad. It's like French fries with, it's basically a different form of potato, and potatoes mixed with ketchup when it comes in French fries.
Ketchup on a steak? I mean, is that where you're drawing a line? Where
No,
do you draw a line?
no, don't put the ketchup on the meat. Don't ever
All
put the ketchup, or don't put the ketchup on the eggs.
How come it goes so well on a burger, but people
Yeah,
are
you know what?
appalled that you would put it on a steak?
That is a good question. Now
Yeah.
you're asking.
I
George
smother
Stone
my
type
burgers in
questions.
ketchup, and at the same time, I would never think to
What-
apply even the slightest drop or hint of ketchup to a
So
steak.
what's interesting for me when it's the shredded hash browns and you got to have the crust on top, I
Yeah,
put
you
the
need the
ketchup
crust.
on it and mix it up. So I
Ketchup
totally
on
ruined
the
it.
hash brown.
No, I like.
I
the
mean, on
dipping.
the
Home
Dipping
fries, when it's the home fries, the chunks of potatoes with onions, that I'll put ketchup on the side and dunk it in. Like because of the consistency's a
All
little
right,
bit.
everybody has their methods.
Are you a ketchup on eggs guy? I mean, do you ever
No,
put
my
ketchup
mom
on
is. I
eggs?
think
Which
most of
I
I
just said ketchup on eggs
Yeah.
is a shanda. I hate it. It makes my
Okay.
skin crawl. And yet,
All right.
both of my parents did it when they made scrambled
Oh,
eggs.
God.
They poured the ketchup.
This
on
explains a
top
lot
the
of your
scrambled eggs.
psychology and
You
psychological
mean my
problems.
issues,
Yeah.
my
Psychotic issues. Yeah, very Woody Allen-esque when it comes to certain food procedures.
Yeah, no, I heard we talking before the show. Like, okay, I wasn't a fan of peanut butter and jelly sandwiches growing up. I was not a fan of tuna fish sandwiches growing up. Although I had that tuna fish. Where did I have I had the tuna melted top round that was outstanding. I had the
Thought it
tuna
was great.
sandwich.
Yeah.
Tuna sandwich at La Spada's was great. So I guess the older you
It's
get,
another one of your preconceived things that you just spew out like something as if it was a given.
No,
And the truth is, you actually think the exact opposite.
no, it's another one of the indicators that you may be getting to be an old fart if you start liking tuna.
See, I think it's a kid's thing more than being an old fart. Tuna sandwiches.
No, kids
Yeah.
make a face at tuna sandwiches. It's
No.
stinky
Every kid that was at Shea Stadium on those Borden's coupon days had a tuna sandwich in a little bag, and you could see the oil
Poor kids
coming out on a brown paper bag. Now this is 50 years ago, but that was
Look,
that was
40
the way it
years ago. 40 years ago, when I was in elementary school, actually, it would be God, no, much more than that. 45.
You didn't
years
trade
ago.
like a tuna for a peanut butter and jelly ever? Or,
No, and we did bologna sandwiches, salami
bologna.
sandwiches,
Yeah.
turkey roll sandwiches. We couldn't afford the real turkey slices. It was turkey roll, which was like highly processed turkey, and sometimes
I don't even think it's a bird.
We had hot lunch. I never did any of this.
The Louis
lunch.
Rich, remember the Louis
That's
Rich
not
used
hot
to sell like a little turkey breast in a chunk, and you didn't know what the hell that thing was.
Yeah, no, well, hot lunch at my school, PS 236 in Mill Basin, Brooklyn. I don't even know if we had a cafeteria that had a kitchen. I think we had to bring in cold sandwiches because I don't have much of a memory of a hot lunch room.
You ate at your
there.
desk. Yes.
It might have been IS 78, my middle school, Roy H. Mann Junior High, had a lunchroom, and that I'm scarred by the sloppy joes, the pizza, some of the other frozen fish sticks on Friday.
Hey, talk about
Fish
boring.
sticks sucked.
That was
Yeah,
bad.
school fish
And
sticks.
we've gone down a path I didn't want to go down. I wanted to talk about
School
comfort
lunch?
food today. No,
Yeah.
I wanted to talk about comfort food for the hurricane because somebody posted on the Let's Eat South Florida Facebook group last night. A very good question is, what is your go-to comfort food when a storm is coming?
I saw the
and-
answer on Let's Eat South Florida.
Was this
I
Well,
saw
the
a great
guys-
answer.
or without
yeah, the guy-
lips?
I'm sorry. The guy who posed the question, Bill Henkel, says that his was a big pan of lasagna, and
That
that's a
was
good
it.
one. And I think
That was
Tom
a good one.
Tanazzini could
Yeah.
second that one. I'm jonesing, and now I regretted that I made and basically took the his great family lasagna made with crepes instead of noodles out of the freezer a couple of weeks ago and demolished that after my colonoscopy instead of saving it for a storm day because that would have come in handy last night.
But we're not really overwhelmingly inhibited or impeded by what's happening. I mean, right now it's sunny out. I'm going to go for the
Defo,
walk of life after this.
you're not getting the gist of it. The gist of it is we got the best of all worlds. We
Exactly.
avoided the real danger. There's a
Wow.
couple of squalls that come through. It's enough to cancel schools. It's enough to disrupt everyday living.
It's a premature
And-
evaluation. It was a
and-
total panic.
He was bitter.
No, it wasn't a panic. It wasn't a
Panic
panic.
by everybody. I mean, it closed up Meisner Park
By
last night.
newbies.
Closed up all of the restaurants.
Yeah, he was
Now
bitter.
I'm out. I went to the Tipperary pub, had my tacos, which were excellent. Even though you would have, I hear your voice in my head saying, "No, don't ever get them there." And then, but they had already closed up all the restaurants at Meisner Park, I believe. They
Yeah,
closed the
because
entire.
out of okay, when
complex.
it's you go ahead, Lubie. You look like you've got.
Well, I was
something
gonna
to
say, I was talking to my mother about this. I get the understanding of closing schools because it is bureaucratic and it's a whole widespread thing, and you sort of gotta do it or don't do it. So you might as well be safe. Restaurants and businesses, to me, I would wait to the last second, right? Because can't you
let
do that on a whim? Or I don't know.
Let
I
me
mean,
s-
I might be wrong.
let me mansplain something to you guys. Okay.
Whatever you're a man.
When it comes to places of business,
Yeah.
mom and pops and places that own their own real estate, they're in control of what they do. So most of them stay open, especially when the conditions turn out to be not so dangerous. So Grandpa's was open today. I'm sure Tropical Acres was open last night. They are concerned for the safety of their employees if anybody has to travel through things that might be treacherous. But what I'm saying is Meisner Park is controlled by a big real estate conglomerate. It's like the malls. So the malls, the operators, the management companies of the malls and places like Meisner Park are the ones who say, okay, we've got to close because anytime we're in tropical storm warning, our lawyers say for liability purposes, and it's all about, you talk about people fearing me, people fear their corporate lawyers and they do whatever the corporate lawyers say. So if you're a management company of a big complex like Meisner Park and they say our policy is anytime we're in tropical storm warning, all restaurants and stores are closed until we're out of the warning. That's it. So all the
Premature evaluation, like I said.
well, again,
it wasn't
takes away
necessary to close.
discretion.
I mean, if you're looking outside right now, there's no reason for anything to be closed here in
Well,
South Florida.
here's where me and you differ because you're Mr. like reckless. Let's go gamble a whole paycheck.
I want to go
3-to-1
surfing today. The surf's up. That's what I
How
called
about
my
this?
friend. He said, "How you doing?" I said, "Surf's up," and I'm ready to go to the beach.
Let's pound 3 pitchers at the elbow room and then get our windsurfing boards up. And
Yeah, let's take America back. Let's make
Elbow
it great again.
And what I'm saying is, if you monitor the radar, and we're blessed with the technology on our phones where we have real time, Doppler radar on our phones, and you see that we're in a patch of tranquility. So for the next 40 minutes, you could go out and take a little jog, or you could go drive to your nearest local bagel shop and get a great breakfast. But when you see that squall line coming through, you want to kind of go indoors because some of those squalls can have tornadoes. And a tornado came through near where my cousin just moved to.
Yeah,
in
no, that
Delray.
was bad.
It hit Kings Point, and I think I read that
Perry
Joe
Airport.
Fidel-
That was the ugly
Well,
one.
Perry Airport. Who cares if the banner planes take it on the chin? That's one less.
Oh, listen to you. You have no sensitivity for people. A poor guy at the
I
Schmidt
have
that flies a little Cessna takes people back and forth to the Bahamas once in a while. Some executive, and you want to tear up his living and condemn his life as being meaningless. Unbelievable.
I didn't say, man. You keep putting words in my mouth.
I love doing that because you get all for Klimt, and then it
I
takes you
know.
like a
And
half
that's
hour to get out of it. Yeah.
and that makes good for good radio. Hey, and speaking of people not paying attention yesterday, Andy, I ate a whole chocolate babka that was like 4 inches wide on the show yesterday, and he's like, "It's been a whole week since Mayo ate anything." Not a whole week. I was stuffing my face. Weren't we at Grandpa's? It was last Thursday, so that's less than a week. And he wants to kill me. I think Andy.
Well,
wants
no,
to
but you have
a-
tomorrow and Friday to look forward to, and I think if Brad doesn't do you in tomorrow, then Brian over at Wicked Cheesesteaks is going to finish you off for the week for sure.
I am looking forward to getting back out and about because me on the road. I get a little bit. I'm kind of a grumpy animal when
You
I'm
get
with
very
big
cranky
animals.
at home. I don't know what that is. You're angry with Lubie. You're angry with me. And, I'm thinking there's zillions of people that depend on your insights into local restaurants and dining and all kinds of food advice. They don't necessarily get the raw essence of what Mike Mayo's all about because you're too busy kvetching at Lubie and me because you don't like our
I'm not
ideas.
catching, but I'm just like I try to pay attention to what everybody says on this show.
You have no idea what we've said on this show. No idea. I know this.
I listened to the other show. I heard Dave Hyde this morning. He was very.
Hyde was great.
Very
He was really good. Yeah.
He's always great. I wish you would just pay the $10 for the 1-year digital subscription.
It's not worth it for me.
Again, we're streaming on the Sun Sentinel's Let's Eat South Florida page.
But I don't like reading
such a
things
great
online. That's a great deal if you like reading stuff off your little phone, or like Lubie was relegated to watching NFL football on his phone because his wife wanted to watch Oprah on Sunday afternoons, and he had to capitulate to her Svengali-like demands. No, I just don't like reading a newspaper like that. Here, Michael, look, I spend $1,000 a year to get my New York Post. It's not like I'm a cheapskate. Look at this thing, and I go through it thoroughly. I save it for the next day.
No, I'm getting you a New Year's gift for the Rosh Hashanah New Year. I am going to get
I wouldn't be able to take advantage of it. I really would never turn on a phone or read a newspaper.
89-year-old mother. She has an iPhone 11 and she loves reading the New York Times.
That's your mother.
Sentinel. And you know what she does every night when she goes to bed now? And she's so techno savvy. It warms my heart.
She says, Michael, you should have been a lawyer.
That's
what my mother used to do.
No.
Why didn't she go to law?
She was like, Michael, can you come over here? Help me find the show. I want to listen to the show. So I put on yesterday's show. I put it on the YouTube channel, and she goes to bed listening to.
I don't know what you did to this
Lunchbox.
son of yours, but we love you. It's great.
Oh, anyway. Hey, let's take our first break. I'm going to put in a good word. The final word for Dine Out Lauderdale. You're in the last of 2 nights, really, because it's Wednesday and Thursday. It goes to the 30th at some places, but many of the restaurants don't offer the promotion on a Friday or Saturday night. So, again, these great restaurant deals are going on for a couple of days more. And our friends at Visit Lauderdale, also the Lauder Deals, a couple of days more. Hey, you know what? If you got a storm day, the kids off, you could go out to one of the hotels, spas, and get yourself a little treatment for a nice price. Go to visitlauderdale.com/deals and check out the ways that you can save in the last remaining days of September. And the Dine Out Lauderdale promotion is 3- and 4-course meals at some of Greater Fort Lauderdale's finest restaurants for as little as $35. Some of them are $45. You could go to places like Planta Queen on Las Olas if you're into the high-end vegan food. Very good stuff there. That Nikki Mohan, our friend with Visit Lauderdale, has been there a few times and recommends it highly. Yes. And then, of course, there's places like Evelyn's at the Four Seasons Resort on Fort Lauderdale Beach, where I've been with Dick Steen, and it's one of my most fantastic meals of 2022. High-end Mediterranean with great service and impeccable setting. Places like Dune on the beach, places like Cafe Max in Pompano Beach in Defo's neighborhood, Cooking the Cork in Coral Springs in the Lubie's neighborhood, all over. Go check them out. There's, I think, about 58 restaurants taking part. Final days. Dine Out Lauderdale. Visit lauderdale.com/deals. Enjoy the good life for less.
They were called Swiss rolls of some sort, but I don't think it was Swiss cake rolls like Lubie implied this morning. We need to get to the bottom of this. It was a competing brand to Yodels, and I believe they were better than Yodels. All right.
I like Yodels.
We'll explore that and many other things here on Mike Mayo's Lunchbox as we continue in a moment.
You like pizza? Who doesn't like pizza? Well, my spot for pizza is the Pizza Spot It's in that little bit hard to find Riverside Park neighborhood of Fort Lauderdale, but it's totally easy to love. It's at 601 Southwest 12th Avenue, New Haven style, a pizza from Wade and Reese. It's a lovely outdoor spot. You could also pick up pies to go at 754-779-7788, 754-779-7788. Again, they're open every day but Monday for lunch and dinner. Some of the best pizza I've ever had. Go to Pizza Spot. They also have subs, salads, and more. Tell them the Gambling Gourmet sent you. If you like seafood in a comfortable setting, outdoors, even keel fish shack at the corner of A1A and Commercial Boulevard in Lauderdale by the Sea, that's my spot. It's upscale food in a down-home setting. The chef owners, Dave and Brad, do a terrific job with all the seafood classics that you want. They have the best grilled oysters in town, bang bang shrimp, lobster rolls, and deli fish specials. They also have weekend brunch Saturday and Sunday. They have deli happy hour 4 to 7, and they also have other weekly specials like mussels on Monday and oysters on Tuesday. Go to Even Keel Fish Shack and tell them that the Lunchbox sent you. And we're back on the Lunchbox Wednesday Hurricane Ian edition. Hope everybody is staying safe and dry on this coast. And if you have friends or family on the West Coast, again, all thoughts and concerns. At Grandpa's today, I saw a couple of refugees came in from the West Coast, and they got a hotel room, and they found their way to Grandpa's. A family from the Fort Myers
DeSantis shipped them over?
No,
Refugees are
not like
transients.
that.
I guess they flew. If
storm evacuees. We call them evacuees,
okay.
not refugees.
Yeah,
But
like-
there will be an influx of people from the Gulf Coast here on this coast.
See, and I was thinking about going to Sanibel Island today.
Of course,
I told the wife, Mustang, let's hop in the car and go to the West Coast, because it's the Green Mile of Love. That's where you go to repair something.
And it looks like, I'm looking at the live
Yeah.
images, there was a ragged eye wall. It looks like it's reformed. It's very wide, and it is crossing now right above Fort Myers. And
Doesn't
I guess
look
it
good.
looks like that whole
No.
Fort Myers looks like there's going to be landfall any minute now.
Wow.
And again, I was there in Tampa, but drove down after Hurricane Charlie wreaked its path of destruction across Punta Gorda, Port Charlotte, all the way up through the middle part of the state. It tore up Arcadia, which is like a wooded region in the middle of the state, and then went up through Orlando and Daytona Beach. So it looks like this thing might do the same thing. And I remember it was, Orlando was not even thinking that they could ever get hit with a storm, and the power was out there, and none of the traffic signals are working, because I drove through a couple of days later to assess all the damage back in my news desk days when I was writing a column. So I did have my hand in covering storms, and that one, much smaller diameter of the eye wall. This one looks huge.
Oh,
It looks like it goes
well,
across.
they put the eye of Charlie 2004 inside this one.
Yeah,
It
and
like
just from
forced it, like,
Wow.
from memory, this one looks about 3 times larger.
it's about 3 or 4
Looks like it. Yeah.
Let me ask you a question of protocol. Okay, on a hurricane, do you throw your sneakers in the dryer? And when you were married to Mrs. Mayo, the lovely Michelle Mayo, if she heard them, kind of banging around in the dryer, was that immediately not just a face, but maybe even a little lecture about how you shouldn't do this? Did you throw your sneakers in the dryer at any time? Because I got caught in one of the squalls yesterday. It was minor compared to, it wasn't like, maybe the Chip LaMarca for Congress or whatever he's running for sign was blowing around a little bit in the wind. But I got caught in one, and within seconds, I was completely drenched head to toe. And this was minor, and I was thinking, wow, we're going to get slammed even harder. But I put the sneakers in the dryer, and it didn't really do any good, because I wanted to make sure that they were dry by today so I could wear them again. Do you ever do that? Did you ever put your Converse?
I
Chuck
did, and
Taylor
my
All-Stars in the dryer?
daughter. My daughter was at school yesterday, and she is on this big campus where they have to walk between buildings outside, and she got drenched. Her sneakers and socks and everything were just a mess.
Yeah.
I don't know if she threw them in the dryer at her mom's.
How do you feel about that? I mean,
well, first of all, it goes clunk, 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 and it
Yeah,
can knock
it's
the
like you threw a
dryer.
tire in there. I mean, it's crazy.
And the thing is, it can, it can knock the dryer off its cylinder.
Oh yeah.
And
Okay.
like you said, unless you blast the heat, and then if you put it on high heat, it could warp the sneakers.
It
So
didn't do
like
any good,
shrink them.
and actually
It's
did
just one
nothing.
of those things. You know what the most effective thing is? You get the
Having a
hair.
second pair of sneakers, yeah.
Well, yeah, that have 3 pairs of sneakers. That's a good one. No, you get a hair dryer, hair
Oh, the
blower,
hair blower, you
and you
do that?
plug in the
Yeah.
hair blower, and then you just kind of blow dry your sneakers like you're at the salon for a half hour. And you
I
just
tried
gotta
that
do
in Italy when my shoes got wet, and
All
I
right.
only had one
I
pair.
have
but
the
it
answer
didn't
to the
work.
question, gentlemen.
There it is.
Little
Swiss
Debbie.
rolls.
Little Debbie is
I
Yeah,
don't know
the
that they were made by Little Debbie.
manufacturer.
Those were the original Swiss rolls. Little
These
Debbie's.
are
Okay.
okay. Let me read you a little blurb.
Holy
about
Nick
these. I did
Saban, man!
some-
I love those.
Did some research here. It says chocolate cake rolled around a layer of creme filling, and coated with fudge.
Yeah.
It's a Little Debbie original, trademarked. Swiss rolls celebrated
Okay.
their 50th anniversary in 2013. So that means they're 59. They're going to be 60 next year. But that's not the only reason these treats are one of the top selling Little Debbie snack cakes. Scrumptious chocolate cake rolled around our signature sweet creme and encased in a rich fudge coating. This delectable dessert is sure to please any crowd. And because they're twin wrapped, they're perfect for sharing. So pass on the tradition of sweet memories. All right. Send me $500, please, the Little Debbie people. And,
Swiss rolls, but I couldn't think of it the other day, and you were talking about Yodels and stuff. The
Yodels
other one
is
too.
the
I
same
mean, and
thing.
there's a discrepancy in my memory bank about the moon pie because, and we're going to be at Wicked Cheesesteaks where they had the old school sign for the moon pies, and then they had a few of them, and I was looking at it and I was like, wow, that looks spectacular. It was a giant, like frisbee sized piece of chocolate cake, very thick, two pieces, just entrenched. I mean, in the middle there it was, a lot of cream.
Moon pie, yeah.
It
A
looked
moon pie-
fantastic. But weren't there moon pies that had like a cookie crust, like a graham cracker kind of crust, and also came in a box? And there was a version of a moon pie that wasn't quite like that. But it was very popular when I was a kid. Anyway, I mean, they were right up there with the Swiss rolls from Little Debbie's.
Now you're
and,
testing me because like
anything
a
like
moon
that.
pie, there wasn't anything called a dream pie, right? There was just
No,
strictly
no,
moon pie.
I'm pretty sure these were moon pies, and they had like the graham cracker kind of crust
'Cause now isn't
on one side,
You-
and they were and also encased in chocolate, and
you would
had the marshmallow stuff also.
you were talking about Malamars yesterday. Isn't like a moon pie just a Malamar?
It was like a
blown up
giant
on
Malamar
steroids? Yeah.
shaped differently. Yes.
Yeah, it's like a Malamar on steroids. These are all good things. Hey, talking about like this Saturday is going to be a big eating day for me. It's too bad we can't have our cameras rolling, but I've got like a double header on tap because we've got in the morning. I've been invited. I guess it's not open to the general public yet, but coming up soon. Fireman Derricks. I don't know if you're familiar with them, but it's a
Never
great
heard of it.
dessert, cake, and pie shop that started in Wynwood. Actually
Okay.
started as a food truck by a retired firefighter. He had an injury on the job, took disability, Derek Kaplan, and he started this bakery in Wynwood, and now he's got multiple locations, and his products are unbelievable. He does this like silk pie with like the fudge. He does the key lime pie and grasshopper pie, which has like the mint in the chocolate. He does cookies and cakes. And anyway, Fireman Derricks is coming to Fort Lauderdale. They've been building it on Federal Highway just north of Broward Boulevard, right near Top Round. I think it's across the street and a couple of blocks north on North Broward Boulevard. Saturday morning, they're having a little grand opening VIP party. I got an invite to that, and I got.
Well, what about your buddies on the show?
Oh,
You
I
can
was gonna
come.
say, so
Yeah.
where's my invite?
No, I'll
Yeah.
tell the publicist that you guys are,
Well,
I'll never make it on
Right.
a Saturday, but
No, Saturday.
I
But they
didn't-
have tremendous sweets, and then after that, I'm going to go from eat dessert first, go from sweet to savory because our man Tom T is going to be
oh
doing
yeah,
a
great.
pop up. I think just Saturday at the American Legion Hall there on State Road 84, just east of I-95 there, and he's based out of that food truck. I forget, it's like the fish dip truck, whatever. But he'll be in there with his full menu of Cajun and Louisiana treats. So I'm gonna eat some pies and cakes, and then go have some gumbo and all that other good stuff. We love Tom T.
Anybody that
reminder.
has you talk about that lasagna. Anybody that hasn't had it, it was such a taste sensation.
was
I'm
amazing.
craving it. I'm even thinking about schlepping down to State Road 84, which is a bit of a drive for me. It's around the corner from you, but and getting in on some of this stuff. I recommended this young lady Tracy last night who came out to the tip, and I told her she lives in Boca, and I said, worth the drive from anywhere. If you like New Orleans food, go to Nobo, find this place, and you're going to get. It's not even a close proximity or a reasonable facsimile. It's as good as anything you would get in New Orleans. I can say that without qualification because I went to New Orleans right after. Yeah,
Is he
There's
doing
certain
the
people.
Boys?
Yeah, he'll have all his po' boys. I guess he'll be doing his
Well, I'm asking
menu
him.
drop. Menu drop. Oh yeah, he's on. He's watching, and yeah, but he usually on his Facebook page, Tom's Louisiana Kitchen, he'll do his menu drop of the items that he's offering on Saturday. And again, that's American Legion Hall. It looks like he put it up here. 36.
This guy should be sold out by noon. I would
And
think,
it's,
based on our recommendation.
why did I just lose the info there? Zero's, what's it called? Zero's Smoked Fish Truck is where he's going to be setting up shop. American Legion Hall, Post 36 on State Road 84, just east of 95. So yeah, we'll be looking forward to seeing that. And what else was I going to say? Comfort food. Let's get back to the
Did you mean comfort food in life or hurricane comfort food?
Hurricane comfort.
Yeah.
So last night, I don't know what you.
They were called scooter pies. Andy points
Scooter
out.
pies. There you go.
Those
That's
things
good.
I was talking
Good
about. Yeah.
info. Our
Our audience
viewers
is much sharper
are-
than we are. We vaguely remember this stuff, and then somebody has to put it together for us. They go,
haze
listen,
of
old buzzard. This is what it was. Yeah.
THC. No. Well, I know that you last night, Defo, were at Tipperary's. What kind of tacos were they last night? Was it?
You know what? They had a variety that they offered, soft or hard, and you could get beef.
He has no idea. He was
Chicken,
drunk and just-
mahi.
Oh,
No,
mahi.
this was prior to doing any drinking. I don't really get drunk when I go out because I'm driving, so I might have a couple of cocktails. But they had a wide variety. They had mahi, which is outstanding. I mean, it was really, really good. The beef, I had a couple of those. They were fantastic. They had chicken and shrimp, and they might have had one other one. And this wasn't like fried shrimp, like they made some kind of taco po' boy. But no, really good. Everybody was extremely happy, including, you talk about the most discriminating palate. But when it comes to restaurant critiques, the Mustang said, these are fantastic.
Okay.
So, I mean, I don't know. You could probably go to a Mexican restaurant or something somewhere. There must be a better taco in town.
They just buy
for what it is, it's great.
Did they just serve them in the store-bought, like flour tortillas, and they just
no. I mean, the shells were excellent. I had the hard shell. I like them better than the soft
hard
shell.
like the old El Paso?
I like those. Yeah, those are great. But
I love hard
very
shell.
tasty. Very
You see
tasty.
this?
I had one. It was very filling, and then later on, I ate in the second one.
Are you looking at this, Defo? Because I'm
I
making a
love.
face
What's
now.
wrong with hard shell? I like hard shell. Surely
What's wrong with a hard shell taco? That's the
love-
original taco, Mr. Mexico.
love
You know, your word of the week apparently is pedestrian, and when you have those old El Paso packaged hard shells, that
They
makes me
weren't
think
packaged. They
of
might
the
have made their
lunchroom.
own. I don't know. They were fantastic.
Oh, please, they're not fresh shop.
See, there you
Miami's-
go again, condemning something. I don't know how your credentials haven't been rescinded as a food critic because
Making
you
assumptions,
haven't
you're
even
right.
tried this. You would refuse
I'm
based
making
on the fact there was
assumptions
a bar. Yeah,
I'm making assumptions because I know they're not fresh.
you
making
don't
their
know. You
own
don't
hard
know.
shell.
You haven't been there.
hard tacos.
I'm
But
You
still,
could taste the
go in there.
oil. You could taste the oil that it was fried in. You could taste it. It was grease.
Lubie, did
No,
you
I
have
don't know. It
any-
might have been old fashioned, but it was fine with me.
I love them. I really
Just
like.
admit it. You have pedestrian taste, and there's nothing wrong with that. I like
Listen,
Skyline
Mr.
chili. I
Skyline
admit.
Chili. I mean, who's talking about pedestrian taste? That's a reflection of no taste. But
No, it's a reflection
I can't
of
believe
bad
that you could
taste.
go on one of these rants when you haven't tried it, and you walked in there, and I said, "Hey, they have like these $2.50 tacos. They're great," and you said, "I wouldn't order one here."
Look, if they have mahi mahi regularly, then they're not your standard bar taco.
That was great, man. No, it was great.
Mahi mahi. That's not.
They have a lot of other food there, also. I don't want to,
All right. I don't mean to be overly
limit people to
judgy. It just
thinking
struck
just
me
that.
as kind of a drinking and music establishment, not necessarily. an eating
It's more of a
establishment.
drinking establishment than anything else, and
Right.
their catchphrase for last night was,
I could
"We're
smell
always
that on the way.
overcrowded during a hurricane."
Okay.
Because the people go in there, it's the type that you describe me as being, like the rebellious type that's going to sit there and go, "Yeah, I'm going down with this ship." You know? But JP Soar is fantastic. We're seeing anywhere, and it was another great night there at the tip. I
Very
would have
good.
to say.
Lubie, what did you do? Did you have any? Do you have any like comfort food storm traditions with
Well,
Shirley?
that's the thing is, you guys are talking about hot food. I don't like hot food cold. Like you guys don't mind having hot food cold. So to me, a hurricane is
Well, I'm
like
saying last night, like, the storm is coming. There's some squalls. Did you like hunker down and just like make a pan of
I was
I don't
actually
know,
lucky.
cookies?
We had our trivia, and the professor, who's a part
Oh, you
owner
were
of
at
the
Lubbers, right?
foundry. No, the
Oh,
Lubbers is
okay, so you
Thursday.
Oh, the Foundry.
We
Okay.
went to the foundry beforehand, so I didn't have to worry about making my comfort food. I had a dolphin
so the foundry
sandwich.
was open, and
Yeah.
would they have a good crowd there last night?
No, they didn't. It's funny. We actually had a decent crowd at Vega where we do the trivia because of the rains were on and off, and when it would rain, it was really strong.
Right.
It was a little slow last night because people
I
were
bet
just
Houston's was
figuring out.
closed. I bet their corporate
There's no one
just closed up shop right away.
There's no one
But
there.
no, oh, that's it. There I go off on that company again. No, so some of the comments coming in for people on Let's Eat, comfort foods that they make is chocolate chip cookies, chili. You make a big pot of chili, and
Yeah,
then that way, if
That's a
that's
good one.
good.
Yeah.
Chili with cornbread,
lasagna.
beef stew, hot dogs and beer. Let's see, beef stroganoff with Texas toast.
Nice.
Buttermilk pancakes with bacon and maple syrup. All right, so everybody has their little shtick
Oh,
rock.
that's-
I got invited over to the lovely and talented Michelle's, ex Mrs. Mayo, known
Well,
as
you
Baby
can't
Mama.
count that because that's unusual. She is so good with the food, and so intense also in terms of the
She
amount
made
and the style.
she made this bone-in ribeye
Are
steak
you
that was
kidding me?
mammoth,
That's
like
not
2.5 pounds.
So
And
she
then
couldn't hate you as
sliced it
much
up.
as she says if she's feeding you this kind of food.
No,
Yeah.
I had to. Price of admission was a good bottle of wine.
All right.
And I got a nice bottle called Justin, Paso Robles region of California.
Great.
It was on sale at Publix for like $20 and change, and it tasted like a $40 bottle wine. Very smooth Cabernet, 2019. Went
Nice.
excellent with the steak, and she did a little pan sear and then stuck it in the oven at 350. It came out perfectly medium rare. She roasted some of these mini potatoes and some mushrooms on the steak and some corn on the cob. So we had that. And then my daughter, after we got done with dinner, is like, I want to bake some stuff. And we went next door. Even we darted between a squall and went and picked up a brownie mix and a couple of those chocolate chip cookies and one with the pecans and all this stuff. And she did some baking last night, and we watched some Ted Lasso episodes. Do you ever watch Ted Lasso?
Not into it yet. I know it's great. Everybody loves
Great.
it. I've seen clips. I've seen interviews with the guy that stars.
Very
Sudeikis.
witty show. Very
But,
good. And
Yeah, everybody likes it.
I started catching up on season 2.
You're assuming something though that people are going to have electricity when they're getting this
That's
comfort
my
food. I mean,
fear.
should that not disqualify making a steak on the grill and then going out and getting baked goods from Publix? I mean, you're talking about this is something that you have to have on hand and be
That's what
willing
I'm
to
asking.
eat, even if it freezes. I mean, you
But
have
this
to be
is
willing
the
to eat that.
pre-storm where when you have the electricity, you use whatever juice you have. It could go out at any
Oh,
moment.
yeah, you're going to make something, but you're going to have to reheat it. You're not going to have it in this form when you're eating during a hurricane.
That's where the
and
cans of
you're
tuna
there
fish
without
come in.
power.
That's where the packs of the frozen hot dogs. And then you take the stuff. You let stuff sit in the freezer if you lose power for a couple of days, and then when it starts thawing out, you go throw it on the grill. You got your gas
You
grill.
can use a grill. I guess grill is something
Yeah.
you can use. So
Yeah.
I think peanut butter and jelly. Like, I'll eat it. That's where I go right to peanut butter and jelly.
Yeah,
When it's
and that's the
little
easiest thing. And
easy, I don't have to think and do
You
math.
got an old can of Goya beans that you decide to just eat cold out of the can. I mean, I'm thinking more, destitute
Your
situation
survival is.
and circumstance. Yeah. You sit there and have like somebody cook you up a Chateau Brianna, the ex-wife on top of that. I mean,
Now,
even more unlikely to happen.
Well, that's true. But that's when you count your blessings. You have electricity. You're on speaking.
I mean, the likelihood of one of my ex-wives inviting me over to have like Chateau Brianna during a hurricane is 0.0, Mail.
Use a knife
I'm
and
sorry. You live a very unusual and
I'm charmed life.
It's
Yes.
not really charmed. It's more sheltered. I mean, you're just not used to the harsh realities of relationships.
Oh,
It's unbelievable.
man. Yeah, no. Well, you want harsh realities. My daughter has been busy binge watching. She started in the other room.
She's making up for what the wife let you off the hook for.
Well,
I believe she has been assigned to do that to you.
Michelle and I were watching Ted Lasso. My daughter's in her room watching this new Netflix thing on Jeffrey Dahmer.
Oh, Dahmer, yeah. But you can't have that on Let's Eat South Florida.
Well,
Some cannibal. I mean, come on.
It's very disturbing, and
Yeah.
and I don't
Mustang's
know why.
not watching that. She recommended I start watching it, but I'm much more
I
stuck on
I
Trump
didn't
bashing
even-
on CNN. Yeah.
I didn't realize it even that they started it. I guess it's using fictionalized actors. It's not like a
Yeah, it's a
documentary, right?
film.
But
Oh,
that's
yeah.
a dramatization of all his sicknesses. I don't know why people want to watch
Too
that.
gruesome for me. I
It's
can't
That
watch
was,
it.
I
and
like the Criminal Minds and all that stuff, but I've heard that this one's rough. Like this one
Yeah.
gets really in
and
there.
it's like, you know how I said I'll eat anything, try anything once? I'm
Flesh is
going
not
there.
among them?
I'm
No,
not
yeah.
going to human flesh. That is
Yeah.
definitely
Oh,
a
Jesus.
no.
Unless
So,
your plane crashes into the Andes Mountains, there's really no reason to even consider it.
yeah, it's
I would have to say.
yeah, desperation will really have to take hold. And even then, I don't know if I'm going to be slicing up my fellow passengers.
You're
but,
far
you know,
better off going to tropical acres. Don't even get into this, Mike Mayo, on the show here. I mean, you're
that
going to
is
make
the
it.
segue for all
No one's going to
time.
be able to eat anything for the next 3 weeks.
Don't eat
after this show.
flesh. Go to tropical.
Either you're
If
going to
you're
have
gonna eat
either a box
flesh,
of ringdings or flesh. Those are the two choices
make it
on the menu.
the acceptable kind of
Yeah.
flesh, which is that so juicy and good, fresh roasted prime rib that they have
Yeah,
every
that's
day
the way
at
to do it.
Tropical Acres. We love Tropical Acres. It's 2500 Griffin Road, just west of 95 in the airport there in Old Dania Beach in Fort Lauderdale. Jack Studiali and clan, his whole family, they just love to put out a good spread, and they are the masters of hospitality. I'm assuming they're open tonight. I will double
I'm thinking
check.
they're
Yeah.
open. I mean, there's really right now. I can't see any. You're saying it hasn't hit yet, and it might still impact
No,
us.
no, no,
and
no. I'm saying
I'm
there might
all
be
in
some
favor of
little
safety.
trailing.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
there's
I
little
don't know. You need to close
trailing,
everything.
little trailing wisps of these squalls. So that's the only thing we got to be. But it looks like it's going to be clearing out. But Tropical Acres, if not tonight, if you want to just feel safer, then wait till tomorrow night. They still have the Twin Lobster special going on every Monday through Friday for a couple of more weeks. That's 2 main lobsters, $35 with salad and side dish. And of course, they have all these other things. I mean, they've got the loyalty reward card where for every 12 entrees that you purchase, you get the 13th one for free. They've got happy hour in the bar from 4:30 to 6:30. They've got the early bird special in the dining room from 4:30 to 5:30, where you get extra goodies in addition to your already great value meals. And of course, if you go in later on, you're going to still get your side dish and salad included with your entree. That's not like any of these other high-end steakhouses where they charge you an arm and a leg just to get one baked potato. There, it's included. We love Tropical Acres. Go there. They're open every day but Sunday. Tell them that the Lunchbox sent you.
And there's no stigma, if you're walking out of an early bird, especially at Tropical Acres, to having somebody that spot you coming out of the bird. Kind of like I was at the Rio one time, and I came out of a theater there. My wife at the time had wanted to see Sheena Easton and David Cassidy. That they were playing in tandem, and I wanted to go see the Neville brothers, who were playing somewhere else in Las Vegas on the Strip. So I had to capitulate to her demands, and I come out of this David Cassidy show. And this is long after David Cassidy was, a meaningful figure in entertainment. And sure enough, a couple of my degenerate friends from the track happen to be in town, and they spot me coming out of there, and they look at the marquee, and they go, "No, not you." And that was it. So I mean, but you don't have to be worried about coming out of the bird.
No, it's a badge of honor.
Tropical Acres,
And
yeah.
it used to be like, oh, you must be really old if you're going into the early bird.
Yeah, you got your
at
AARP
anywhere.
card. What is it?
But
Yeah.
now, you know what it is for me? If I go into the early bird
Smart.
at Tropical Acres or the happy hour, it means I'm trying to make the 6 o'clock poker tournament at the Hard Rock. And you can do that.
There you go.
And talk about, saving your pennies so you could spend your dollars. And that's a beautiful thing. So
Yeah. So you come out screaming, "I'm playing poker tonight." Don't worry about this stuff.
Yeah.
It's not like I'm the big food
Right.
critic
It's
for the
not
Sun
like
Sentinel.
it's not like
It's
I'm
taking
old.
a bird. Yeah.
Yeah, right. No, but there is no shame there. You said it's a badge of honor, and
It's a great
all
spot,
their
yeah.
deals are great. So, oh wow, what a show! Talk about David Cassidy, dead or alive?
He's dead. Yeah.
And didn't he
unfortunately.
die? Wasn't he a Fort Lauderdale resident?
Yeah, he actually, I know a person that was, with him in the latter stages of his life there for a
Oh, okay.
while in a romantic involvement, and absolutely loved the guy, and he was into horse racing also, but
Right,
had problems with alcoholism.
So
And
let me
I don't
ask,
know if that's what did him in, but he died at a fairly young age in his 60s.
let me ask you this:
Yeah.
Do you know anybody who had him in the Deadpool?
He wouldn't have been in a Deadpool because you wouldn't have figured. He was like,
Yeah,
I think he was in his early 60s. David Cassidy. Did a lot of things in entertainment. He was still performing, actually, and drawing good crowds wherever the heck he went. Because that oldies thing, as evidenced by the fact that we're on an oldies station with our radio rebroadcast of the show, it is a very thriving format in the concert world.
Hot and happening in South Florida. All right, let's take a break, and then we'll wrap up this edition of Mike Mayo's Lunchbox on a Wednesday. Visit Lauderdale Wednesday. People come to me and say, Mike, where should I go out to eat? I got guests coming from out of town. Where should we go? Cafe Seville. That's the answer. 2768 East Oakland Park Boulevard. It's a Fort Lauderdale perennial. It's serving the finest in Spanish and continental cuisine in a cozy, friendly, comfortable setting. Joey Esposito and Sally, his better half, they've been running the place for a long time. It's been open since the 1980s. They got great Spanish classics like paella, shrimp with garlic sauce, and all kinds of great seafood dishes. The stuffed veal chop, that's my favorite. Go to Cafe Seville. It's open every day but Sunday at 5 p.m. for dinner. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. Do you like burgers? Do you like wings? Do you like late night food and sports on big screen TVs and cold beer and friendly vibe and great people? Then you want to check out Shenanigans. For 30 years, they've been doing a great job. The original location, West Side, 3303 Sheridan Street, just across from TY Park in Hollywood. And there's the East Side location, 1300 South Federal Highway in Dania Beach. You go to Shenanigans, you get yourself all the good stuff, the fresh fish every day, the black and grilled wings, and of course, the kitchens are open late in both locations. Go there. Tell them that the Lunchbox Mayo and Defo sent you. From our friends at Visit Lauderdale and Lauderdeals, don't miss Dine Out Lauderdale during August and September in Greater Fort Lauderdale. Dozens of top restaurants are offering amazing 3- and 4-course meals starting at just $35. See all the Dine Out Lauderdale menus from more than 50 participating restaurants online at visitlauderdale.com/deals. More taste sensations are being added daily, so plan your culinary adventure to Greater Fort Lauderdale and get your taste of the good life for less. Dig in now at visitlauderdale.com/deals. Looking for a great place for steaks, seafood, and more? Go to Tropical Acres Steakhouse and Butcher Shop. It's at 2500 Griffin Road in Dania, just west of I-95 and the airport. They've been there a long time, since 1949. That means they're doing something right. You'll get old school hospitality from the Studiali family, along with great value, for tremendous service. Of course, you could also go into the bar for happy hour every day, 4 to 6. The early bird special runs from 4:30 to 5:30, and they have great value all night long. Also, a butcher shop that's open every day from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. except Sunday. The dining room is open every day at 4:30 except Sunday. Go to Tropical Acres. Tell them the Lunchbox sent you. And we're back on the Lunchbox. Mayo, Defo, Lubie, just talking comfort food and more on a stormy Wednesday. Some other people are saying a Filipino porridge with chicken is their comfort food. Somebody said spaghetti and Oreos. I hope not in the same plate. That's
spaghetti and Oreos? That sounds like a Skyline chili dish, doesn't it?
I think they meant spaghetti, and then later they
later the Oreos.
On the couch. Yeah.
Now, did you separate the Oreo like KGB did, Malkovich in Rounders? And eat the bottom first and then lick the cream off, or did you eat the whole thing at once?
So before they actually,
I could see you as a splitter and a liquor, as they say. Yeah,
I don't know if that's a compliment.
Splitter and a liquor, yeah.
Before they actually came up with before they came up with double stuff and actually started selling the double stuff Oreos, I did my own double stuff at home, where I would remove the tops of the cookies and have the cream filled side and take another one and then put the two cream sides together and made my own double stuff. And then lo and behold, I guess enough people were doing that they came up with a full product based on that, which is the double stuffed center.
Wow.
And then once they came out with the double stuff, I would buy that and remove the top of that and do the quadruple stuff.
Did you also buy the peanut butter with the jelly already mixed in?
Oh, I've never done that.
Kind of like that idea in Night Moves that Michael Keaton had, where he wanted to put the mayonnaise in the tuna can.
Ugh.
Prematurely. I mean, obviously a ridiculous idea, but you never bought the peanut butter that already had the jelly mixed in. Never.
No, and
Oh,
again, I'm not a peanut butter fan except for Reese's peanut butter cups.
okay.
I'm much more of a cream cheese and jelly. I could deal with cream cheese
All
and
right.
jelly because that's like again.
Lubie can't be Jewish if he doesn't like cream cheese and
I don't
jelly.
really like
How is that
cheese and
possible?
jelly. I don't
He's
like-
making a face. All right, we're all making a face. All right, that's gonna do it for today. We're gonna.
That's it.
Yeah,
We're going to end on
leave
that
it.
note. That's
Yeah.
kind of a weak note to end on. That Lubie
No,
hates cream cheese and
we're-
jelly.
Sometimes we're a pretty weak bunch, but tomorrow's gonna be exciting. We're gonna be at.
What about
Evenfield
that
Fish
dumpling? Wait a minute. What about that dumpling?
No, forget the dumpling. Let's take a dump on the dumplings.
Yeah.
That's it. Tomorrow, Even Keel Fish Shack, Lauderdale
Yeah.
by the Sea, A1A and Commercial Boulevard.
What's Brad
Come
going to
on
cook up
out.
special, man?
I
That's
don't
gonna
know,
be
but
great.
I am
Yeah.
looking forward to it. We haven't been there it's since last month. We love going in there.
Yeah.
Come on out and say hi.
Come on,
And
people.
tomorrow also we're going to be doing some Dolphin pre-gaming because they're playing Thursday Night Football.
Yeah. What do you
on
think?
Amazon
Real quick.
Prime and Channel 33. I think I'll wait till we find out Tua's status tomorrow before making.
Listen to
playing.
your injury report. There you go.
He's playing.
I think that's fairly significant, don't you think?
It's worse than a
Sports
rider
fan.
change at the gate from the feet pink guy to Doty Dice if this
Yeah.
quarterback is out when he's hot right now. So
There you go. All
I
right.
like Teddy Bridgewater, though. He's a local kid. Make good. I hope he does well if he
We'll
plays.
see what happens. Okay, that's it for today. Thanks for tuning in. Stay dry, stay safe, and enjoy every sandwich.